Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about a very important annotation and we will also talk about load balancing. Now friends, there could be a scenario where we wish to add couple of more macro services in order to load balance. For example, we wish to implement a yet another Samsung macro service which can balance the load for the application. Can we do that? Well, we can. Let me show you. So in here, if I navigate to this store folder, we have the Samsung macro service. Let me make a copy of it and I will simply give the name it as Samsung 2. And now let me open up IntelliJ IDEA, and here I will click on File, click on Open and select the Samsung 2 folder and click on OK. And I will open this in a new window. Then I will click on Window and select Samsung 2. So now this is nothing but an exact replication of our Samsung application. You can also check the path here. And if I show you here, it is an exact replica, but if we try to run this, there would be an error because the port of the application will be same. So first thing first, let us update the port and we will give the port as 8085 maybe. Alright, and that's it. We can straight away run this application. So we will open up the file Samsung application and we will run this application. Now this application will run definitely, and it will be like checked by the Eureka server again, and it will be also registered, right? So name of the application is Samsung again, and let us open up the Eureka panel. And here if I refresh, take a note of this zones. It will show up zones 2. There are 2 zones now available, and it will load balance based on the requirement. But for example, we straight away try to run our application, there would be a crash. For example, here I refresh this store application, click on Samsung, it will not show up anything. This will simply give us an error. Now here is this thing. When we make use of REST template, it will register things for the very first time, but it will not refresh. And there would be some issues, and even for Apple, our application will crash. And this is the importance of the load balance annotation. This will fix all of these issues, but there are like few very important configuration which we need to do into our store application. Now friends, why our application is crashing and how to fix this is something which we will check. So let us open up our store application, and here let me open up the store.java file. Alright. Now friends, when it comes to store.java file, take a note on these 3 references. Initially we have worked on these 3 references, which was cool, but we need to further fix it. For example, here if we talk about devices reference, devices result, what we can do, it might happen that this reference will be useful for other methods as well. So first optimization which we can do is we can bring this outside the method and make this as a private thing. Alright. Apart from that, take a note of this result reference. This result reference is getting initialized using this method. We are not making use of a new keyword. So now bringing this outside the method is a good optimization, and that's it. We need not to do anything else. Apart from that, we can also like bring this model and view object outside. This can be useful again when it comes to utilizing this reference for other methods. This can be done as well. Good enough, nice, no problem. We can use this same reference and we can initialize with a new view and load up things. And as we have a new reference, can we get rid of this new keyword? Indeed, we should not. Why? Because for every method or for every request mapping, there could be a different view file. As a result, we have to create a new object of it. As a result, only keeping the reference outside is good enough. Moreover, the only optimization which we can do is bringing this particular model and view outside the switch case and bring it here, because for both of the cases we are loading the same view, right? So we can do this. This could be a yet another optimization. You can, and based on your business requirement, and if there is no requirement of model and view references for other methods, you can keep these inside this method as well. It is up to you. But the most important thing is this REST template. Take a note of it. When it comes to REST template, we are doing what? We are creating a new object for both the cases. All right. And for every call, a new REST template object will be created. Now, is there any special thing about this REST template object? Nothing. It is just a plain REST template object. There is no parameters passed for the constructor. As a result, what we can do, we can get rid of this particular line entirely. And we can simply cut this line and again mark this as a private entity and paste it in here. But what would be the outcome? Our application will throw an exception, because how we will initialize this? For initializing model and view, we have the keyword new. For initializing device object, we have this method. This method will return an object of devices type, and this result variable will contain the devices object. Cool enough. But for REST template, there is nothing. There is no mechanism which is initializing this. If you have an idea about Spring framework, we have something known as AutoWire, right? So in here we can AutoWire stuff. But AutoWire is a consumer, and we have to pass an object via the Spring container. Now, how that will happen? In order to make this work, we need to create a bean. So let us quickly open up store application.java. This is the most appropriate place to create a bean, and here we will create a bean, and we will also create a method, public method. Return type would be REST template, name would be REST template again, and this will simply return a object. So it would be like return new REST template. All right, now Spring will smartly use this object whenever there is a requirement of REST template object, and Spring will optimize our application. This is cool, but still we are not making use of load balancing. What happens if there are more than one instances of a microservice? How we will handle it? And in order to handle it, we need to load balance in our app which is consuming the microservices. Take a note of it. We are consuming the microservices. So the application which is consuming the microservices, we need to load balance there. Now this REST template is the way how we are consuming the stuff. As a result, we need to load balance this REST template bean. And if you try to search for load balance, there is nothing. There is no annotation by the name of load balance. And why there is no annotation? Because we have to add a dependency. Now what is the dependency? The dependency is very simple. The dependency is exact dependency which we have added for the Samsung application, the Eureka client dependency. Yes, we have to also add the Eureka client dependency into our application. So let us quickly do that. Here I will open up the pom.xml file. So first of all, we will add this dependency Eureka client in our store application. Here we go. Let me save the changes. Then I will also add this dependency management stuff. So these are like minor things but very important things, so take a note of it. It is showing up some kind of error. Let me check. We will fix the error in some time we will update the project, and that should fix the error. Apart from that, we need to also add the property, this property cloud version. All right, let me stop the web server. Let me update the Maven project. So these are small things, but definitely very important. And this should fix the pom.xml file. This is good enough. And now we will run the Spring Boot app. Now friends, sometimes STS or Eclipse shows this red cross for the pom.xml. Just ignore it. Don't worry about this red cross at the beginning of pom.xml. Alright, now let us refresh. And here, because we have added the Eureka client dependency, the store app will also register itself as a client. So that is one small little thing, but that is nothing to worry. And now let us simply check whether it will work or not. It is again showing some kind of error. This time let me check what's going wrong. Alright, so somehow it is not registered. I guess I need to restart couple of things. Let me check what's going wrong, or I have missed out somewhere. Alright, so can you guess where we have made a mistake? That is silly that we have missed on adding the load balanced annotation. We have added the dependency, but we have missed using this one. This is silly, very silly mistake though. Let me rerun this application. That will I'm pretty sure that this will fix the error. This annotation is very important. Take a note of it. Don't miss on it, else your application may throw error. And this time the error is because we haven't stopped the web server, and we need to stop the web server first, and then we have to rerun the application. Then only our application will run. Alright, so everything is working properly. Let me rerun the application. Let me click on Samsung. Here is our application. Let me click on Apple. Here is our application working. And we have also registered the instances. Let me minimize this. Alright, and you can definitely also give the name to our application. Let me quickly do that. So here, let me open up application.properties. And we will give the name to the application, and it would be what? It would be like spring dot application dot name equals maybe store. That would be a good name. Let me save the changes, and let me stop the web server first and relaunch the application. Let me refresh the Eureka server, and we can easily make out that the store application have been redeployed. It is listing, and the unknown application is down, and it would be, I guess, removed in some time. You can again do one small little thing. You can restart the Eureka server to get the updated list, but that is usually not a very good idea to restart the Eureka servers. All right, this is cool. Alright, so our application is working properly. Alright, my laptop's battery ran off, so I need to restart my system, and as a matter of fact, I also had to restart the Eureka web server. As a result, you are not seeing the fourth down application, but matter of fact, here is the updated list of applications which are registered as a client under Eureka server, which is okay, but usually restarting a Eureka discovery service is not a very good idea. Alright, this is cool, this is nice, but matter of fact, there is one more thing. The thing is that whenever there is a Eureka server, all the applications are dependent on the Eureka server for finding the clients, finding the resources, finding the consumer, finding the providers. So there is also a caching maintained, and usually there is some level of fault tolerance just in case the Eureka server is down for some time. Cache can help you to reach the destination. Moreover, for example, one of the microservices is not live. In that case, the Eureka discovery service will keep on sending some signals in order to check whether the microservice is live or not. And if the microservice is not live, in that case it will show some kind of error. For example, we have already seen the down error. It was showing that the microservice was down. Alright, so these were a couple of things. Moreover, the concept of providers and consumers, let me quickly also touch on this. So here is our application where we are consuming the resource from a microservice, right? So we are consuming a microservice. As a result, this particular application is a what? It is a consumer application where we are consuming other microservices. Likewise, the microservices like Samsung and Apple are providers. These microservices are providing something to this consumer application. Alright, now finally, here is your task. For example, you can do what? You can simply navigate to our Samsung application. This Samsung application, if I show you, here we are simply making use of a hard-coded list. Moving forward, just a task, just a practice exercise. Try to create a database table, keep the data in the database table, connect with the database and extract the information from the database. Moreover, you can do something extra in here. For example, all of these devices. For example, Note 9 is a smartphone, but there is some kind of specifications for this smartphone, right? So you can create a couple of more microservices. For example, a microservice for Apple devices, a microservice for Samsung devices, where you will keep the specifications for these devices. And this Samsung and Apple microservice may consume the specification microservices furthermore. So you can go one step further and you can create an application where your list of devices will also contain specifications and you will get the specifications from some other microservice. So you can definitely like develop architecture. You can definitely try to build some advanced level of call, certainly a next level of call, which will again help you to understand the entire application of building microservices based application. So that is just a suggestion. You can definitely do that. That will definitely help you out. If you have some time, try to make this application even better. Alright, so that's it for today. I suppose you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.